Welcome to the Rainbow Frequency, offering transmissions of love. This portal is dedicated to promoting the spirit of hope and perseverance to one and all. In honor of the fact that I'm recording this during the week of Halloween, this reading is dedicated to the advice from our ancestors or the spirit realm whenever it is that you watch this. From the bone casting bag that I created, what is the advice from our ancestors? All right. Make sure I got everyone. Sometimes they hide. Nope. That is okay. We have this button that has two griffins. You might perceive them as other creatures. Whatever you see, that is your perception and it is your message. Anywho, so to me, this represents you being in connection with your higher self or the divine. You can see at the top, this one has that touch of green. Green represents the heart chakra. So it's that place of higher consciousness where you're led from the heart, your ego, which is there to protect you, can't interfere. So meditate, pray, do whatever, Tai Chi, yoga, any sort of thing that you can do that helps connect you to that inner peace and place of balance, that will help you. This is a fossil, I believe it's a trilobite. You can see kind of like this spinal column. Your spine is the control center with your brain of your body. It's that kundalini rising sort of symbolism, channeling your power, your energy. We're not all here to work a job and then die. There's more to it than that, I believe. So when you sit with yourself and channel from that space, that helps you break through any obstacle in a well-balanced, fortified, solid foundation sort of way. Let's see what the tarot has to say. And I've been pulling this kind of message for a while now, and I really feel, especially currently, which again, I do also believe that these messages are timeless, so it is the nature of life, or the challenge of life, is to not get distracted by all that's happening around you. Oop. The Fool. Okay. Case in point, not get distracted by all that happens around you and stay focused on what you're led to do, which I did feel led to look at that card because I felt like that was a message. And the Fool is, this is wild. The Fool is that stepping off into the unknown and just being led by that faith, that blind faith in where you're headed and that it's the right direction. All right, obviously we're just gonna have to go with the flow of all of the fact that I just put the cards back in upside down. All right, so finally, let's select our cards. So you, obstacle, advice from spirit, outcome, and bottom of the deck. And we'll get clarifiers. Oop. Okay. All right, so you, 7 of Imps, which is the 7 of Rods or Wands, full moon eclipse. And we have a full moon. All right, so 7 of Wands. Sevens popularly are perceived as lucky numbers, and it's gotten there because it also represents that connection to the divine, being fueled by that connectivity with the divine. You see in this card, these 2 imps are looking at each other and joining hands. They're moving forward on their path. Intuition smiling down at them. In the distance, there's the castle that they're going to, so they're on their way to that castle in the sky. Conclusions are within reach. So it's also it's that energy of, it's very exciting and you want to like rush forward, but you have to take the time to get there. They're not running, they're walking. They see their end game goal. So conclusions are within reach. If you knew that success was guaranteed, how would you proceed? You wouldn't rush into it. You would take your time and go confidently. Your obstacle, 7 of Bats, which is the swords. With, you're very close to achieving your goal. So again, 7, 7, 7 of Bats, 7 of Swords. In some senses, this card can represent people lying to you, being deceived, but in this energy, this is, you see this entity looking in their sack and seeing happily all of their reserves. So you have stored up your reserves. You're coming from a place of sharp mental clarity, along with you're close to achieving your goals. So again, stay in that mindset. The obstacle is not giving in to the fear. Sometimes when we're going after what is in our hearts, what we really, really want, whether that's love, whether that's career, anything that we truly want scares the you-know-what out of us. And you can't give in to that fear and say, oh, well, it's too much. I don't want to go after my dreams because it might hurt me. It's better to love and lost than to not love at all, that sort of energy. Then the advice from Spirit, Page of Imps, along with bring love into the situation. So pages, knights are that charging forward, going after it. Pages are that beginning stage, So, for example, see this red newt on the tunic. Fire salamanders or newts are thought in some cultures to be the beginning stage of a dragon. And red is that signifier in tarot that you're switched on. So, having the newt in the region of the solar plexus as well as the sacral, and base. So this person is being fueled forward on their journey with their power and really balanced in their energies and their core, and being led by divine guidance. I know it's a devil, but let's broaden our perspectives a little. And they're surrounded by the stars, which could be your ancestors, your spirit guides, guardians, helpers, allies. Also your intuition. They have these, in this suit, ghosts are representative of the cups. So you're also being led forward by your emotions, which your emotions are from your heart center. So if imbalance can help guide you. So the advice from Spirit is, and you see the two pyramids. So two pyramids, two balanced, two powerhouses. So if you come at life from this place and you bring love in to the journey, and you meet each obstacle even from a place of love, and what is the lesson in this, or how is this rerouting me in my highest good. Come at things more from that perspective instead of why is life happening to me. Think of it as it happening for you. Again, Hangman, and I just said this, it's that changing that perspective of it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And really, you're your only limitation. Your perspective on what's happening in any given circumstance, you have control over how you react. You have control over your actions. So, and this can seem scary, a fiery climax approaches. But instead of going for that, scary, fiery climax approaches, doom and gloom, oh no, again, it's all how you perceive things. Fire can also be purifying and healing. So step into the fire, let it burn away all those hang-ups, all the unnecessary fear and misperceptions, of victim lack mindset. let that be burned away. Temperance, because again, it is from a place of temperance, in this representation of the card, this witch is, and a witch is a healer. Let's stop for a second here, in perfect timing for Halloween. Witches have gotten a bad rap. Witches really were healers, the people that helped you connect if you weren't able to the other side. So soul guides, medicine women. Morgan Le Fay, for example, was a healer and a midwife, and people would go to the Isle of Avalon to rejuvenate or to give birth. Anyway, so you get where I'm going with this. Like, she has all of her healing. I mean, yes, there is some stuff that you don't necessarily want to mess with for every given situation, but she's blending the perfect recipe, making the perfect soup, having all the ingredients and harmony in order to create her magic. When you're making something in the kitchen, the ideal end game is the perfect blend of salt, umami, sweet, acid, so it's that creating that perfect harmony. It's time to, like, say you put too much of one thing, you balance it out. Like, you have too much sugar, you put a splash of salt or lemon juice, you balance it out. So it's time to release the negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is that sign of alchemy, which, again, cooking is another version of alchemy. It's time to release the negativity. It's time to balance it all out in order to actually move forward. Release things that aren't yours to carry. Release things that you've carried from the wounds of your past, that it's time to let those go. You're only hurting yourself. I read or heard recently, like, the person that hurts you, it doesn't matter to them whether or not you're holding on to it or not. So let it go. All right, final advice to close out the reading. Knife and hedgehog. All right, so again, the knife can be to help cut away cords to things that no longer serve you. It can help you as a tool to heal. You can also use it to wound. It's up to you. But I think it's time to use this in the positive sense. And hedgehog, I love this. In this deck, it's that connection to the universal energy. He has all these quills, or this little creature has all these quills, and it can turn into a little ball, which the circle, the Ouroboros, it's that hole, and all these quills are its receptors to the universal energy. So, and this can also help you, as a power tool to connect in that way. So you have what you need to let go of what is holding you back and move forward in your highest good. I hope that resonates. The veil is thin, so connect with your ancestors, your spirit guides, and let what needs to stay in the past stay in the past. Be well. If you like this transmission, please subscribe to my channel and join my community. In the description below, there is a link to my Patreon site where you may contribute your support. I'm also available for personal readings. Please feel free to contact me directly at the email address provided. All the love, be well.